Good evening, and welcome to the 8th video of the 14-day skit challenge. This evening I will be performing you a monologue from my adaptation of Cyrano de Bergerac, which I did this August, all within 1 month. No, as in, like, I actually wrote the play and directed it and staged it all in a month. It was quite possibly the most crazy and best experience of my life. So this is from a play which is very dear to my heart. It is about a poet and a soldier and a writer, scientist, just generally amazing, brilliant man who at some point allegedly travels to the moon, um, called Cyrano de Bergerac, and he is madly in love with the most beautiful, most intelligent, most exquisite woman in the entirety of Paris. Only he dare not tell her because he believes himself to be unworthy, due to the fact that he believes himself to be hideously ugly for having a nose which is somewhat longer than the average nose. Um, just as he gains the courage to tell her, another guy manages to slide in, not quite into her DMs, but into her heart, kind of getting there immediately, quickly. Wow. Um, and his name is Christian de Neuvillette, and effectively he is professional pretty boy. Roxane is smitten, but Cyrano knows that Roxane could not possibly properly fall in love with this guy. She would have her heart broken, actually, because she has such high hopes. Um, unless he's a genius, which Christian isn't. Christian is pretty, but he's got nothing behind the eyes. And Christian says to Cyrano, please help me. And Cyrano says, yeah, sure, okay, all right, fine. He spies his chance. He sees that if Christian could be his face and Cyrano be his words, Christian's words, together they would be able to win over Roxane. And therefore Cyrano would be able to tell Roxane how he truly feels about her, but with the caveat of not actually winning her. Enter a third character who is also in love with Roxane, called De Guiche. De Guiche is a jealous scoundrel who, having found out that Cyrano's plan works and Christian gets married to Roxane, sends both Christian and Cyrano to the front of the 7 Years' War, into a little town in the Netherlands, or in Belgium. Anyway, the north of Europe, called Arras, where they get besieged by the Spanish, who are a very, very long way from home. And as they get besieged by the Spanish, there comes a day where De Guiche, who's playing a bit of a double game here, says, right, you guys, I may or may not have found out from an agent that the Spanish intend to break the ramparts this very day, and you're all gonna die. And so the men are all preparing themselves for death, and Cyrano decides to write a final letter to Roxane. He has been writing letters to Roxane all of this time, and he has been running them across the ravaged countryside to the nearest untouched inn or post twice a day to have them delivered to this woman that he loves, which his friends all believe is nuts. I say his friends. There is one friend who he confides in. He is a very private man. He's very insecure. He's actually a bit of a coward, but he's madly in love with Roxane. Like, crazily in love with Roxane. Anyway, guys, take notes and prepare to weep at the most tragic monologue in the history of monologues, translated, adapted, and performed by yours truly. Roxane, I am dying. I am dying as I write this to you. And I am dying of the fact that I know that I shall never again hear your voice. Oh, see the way that you brush your hair away from your eyes, nor smell the jasmine of your neck. The world, being one vast plot to throw me into your path, has now conspired to cut me from it. I shall no longer journey with you. And that kills me. Almost worse than the knowledge that you shall journey on alone. Remember my words when I am gone. Remember that no one loved you, that no one shall ever love as I do. And if I could have loved you more, if I could have given you more, I would have done so. Because you deserve it. You deserve that all the stars in the night sky, the very stars that conspire against us now, revolve and dance around your fingertips. I'd pluck them down without a moment's hesitation, if I could. But I am a man. But if I ever felt like more than a man, like a king, like a god, it was because you looked at me. Thank you for looking at me. With all my love, until the heavens crumble and hell blazes all to nothingness. You're and at that point, Christian runs in, interrupts Cyrano before he has the chance to sign himself, finally, as Cyrano on this letter, and says, Cyrano, we're all going to die, and I never wrote to her. Why did I never write to her? And there's this huge denouement between Christian and Cyrano, as Christian realizes that Cyrano has been writing letters to his wife this whole time. Of course he feels betrayed, but ultimately he does the right thing. Christian says to Cyrano, Cyrano, you should confess to her how she feels. She's not in love with me, she's in love with your soul, she's in love with what you've managed to convey through those letters. Unfortunately for Cyrano, before he manages to confess, Christian gets hit by a deadly bullet. And he doesn't have the heart to tell Roxane that this man that she thought she loved was not the man. He gives in to his cowardice. We have one opportunity, sometimes, to do the right thing. One opportunity. And I hope, when that opportunity comes, that you take it. And true love, in whatever form it takes, friendship, family, romantic love, the love of one's neighbour, is so rare. It's so rare. So embrace it. When you see it, take it to your heart. Because you don't know if you'll see anything like that ever again. So it is my wish to you that you be courageous, that you be honourable, that you love, and love with conviction, and you stand and fight for what you love. Thank you so much for listening. And if you want to donate to my fundraiser, I would be very, very grateful. The fundraiser is for the International Committee of the Red Cross, who does very, very good humanitarian work. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening. Farewell.